Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Hey English. I'm Philip, your friendly guide through the English language.
And I'm Sarah. We're so excited to have you join us today. In this episode, we're diving into daily challenges and sharing some life hacks to make your day a little easier.
But that's not all. As always, we're here to help you improve your English. So, we'll be breaking down some useful vocabulary, grammar tips, idioms, and phrases along the way.
That's right. Whether you're learning English as a new language or just looking to polish your skills, we've got you covered.
So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump right into today's topic. Sarah, what's the first daily challenge we're going to tackle?
I can't wait to get started. Let's go.
So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump right into today's topic. Sarah, what's the first daily challenge we're going to tackle?
Absolutely, Philip. One of the biggest daily challenges for me is managing time effectively. There's just so much to do and so little time.
I totally get that. Time management is crucial. We often hear terms like procrastination and prioritize. Sarah, can you break those down for our listeners?
Of course. Procrastination means delaying or postponing tasks, often leading to last-minute rushes. And to prioritize means to arrange tasks in order of importance. For example, I need to prioritize my assignments to avoid last-minute stress.
Great explanation, Sarah. And speaking of vocabulary, here's a quick grammar tip for everyone. Do you know the difference between much and many?
Yes. Much is used with uncountable nouns, like I don't have much time, while many is used with countable nouns, like I don't have many tasks left. Simple yet so useful.
Perfect. For me, staying organized is a daily challenge. There's always something that needs to be done, and it can get overwhelming.
Definitely. Organization is key. Some useful words here are clutter, which refers to a messy state, and streamline, which means to make something more efficient. For example, I need to streamline my workspace to reduce clutter.
And here's a phrase that might help: a place for everything and everything in its place. It's a simple reminder to keep things organized and in order.
That's a great one, Philip. Keeping things in their place can really help reduce daily stress. Do you have any personal tips for staying organized?
I like to make to-do lists. It's satisfying to check off completed tasks, and it helps keep everything on track. How about you, Sarah?
I love using planners. Writing down my schedule and tasks for the day helps me stay focused and on top of things. Plus, it's a good habit for practicing English writing.
Absolutely. And there you have it, folks, some common daily challenges and how to tackle them with useful vocabulary and grammar tips.
We hope these tips help you manage your time and stay organized. Now, let's move on to some life hacks that can make handling these challenges a bit easier.
Absolutely. One life hack I swear by is the Pomodoro technique. It's a time management method that breaks work into intervals, traditionally 25 minutes long, separated by short breaks. It helps keep you focused and prevents burnout.
That's a great technique, Philip. So, for those learning English, think of it as working in bursts. You work for a set time, then take a short break. It's like saying, time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. Another life hack I use is to create to-do lists. It helps me stay organized and ensures I don't forget important tasks. Plus, crossing items off your list gives a sense of accomplishment.
That's a good one. And here's a tip for making effective to-do lists: break your tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of writing clean the house, you can write vacuum the living room, dust the shelves, and wash the dishes. It makes the tasks feel more achievable.
Definitely. It's all about breaking things down into bite-sized pieces. And here's another idiom for you: many hands make light work. It means that tasks become easier when more people help out. So, if you can, delegate some tasks.
Speaking of delegation, let's talk about another life hack: streamlining your morning routine. For example, laying out your clothes the night before can save you precious time in the morning.
Great tip, Sarah. And it's all about preparation. For example, preparing your breakfast the night before can make mornings smoother. This way, you can avoid the morning rush and start your day more calmly.
And here's a phrase to remember: early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. It emphasizes the benefits of a good sleep routine and early start to the day.
Absolutely. And for those learning English, getting into the habit of using these phrases and idioms in your daily conversation can really boost your language skills.
Yes, and don't forget to practice these tips regularly. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to manage daily challenges.
So there you have it, some life hacks to help you overcome daily challenges, along with useful vocabulary and phrases.
We hope these tips make your day a little smoother and more manageable. Now, let's dive deeper into the language aspect and break down some more vocabulary, grammar tips, and idioms.
Great idea, Sarah. Let's start with some vocabulary we've mentioned today. One of my favorites is streamline. It means to make a process more efficient. For example, we need to streamline our workflow to increase productivity.
Another useful word is clutter. It refers to a messy or disorganized state. You could say, I need to declutter my desk to focus better.
Those are excellent words to know. Now, let's talk about a couple of idioms. One we mentioned earlier is many hands make light work. This idiom emphasizes the idea that tasks become easier when people work together.
And don't forget better late than never, which means it's better to do something late than not do it at all. For example, I finally started my English homework, better late than never.
Exactly. Idioms can really add color to your language. Speaking of which, let's tackle a grammar point. We talked about few and a few.
Right. Few implies a small number, often with a negative connotation, like I have few friends, meaning almost none. A few has a more positive feel, like I have a few friends, meaning some but not many.
Another important grammar tip is understanding the difference between much and many. Remember, much is used with uncountable nouns, such as I don't have much time, while many is used with countable nouns, like I don't have many tasks left.
Perfect. And for those practicing at home, try to use these words and idioms in your daily conversations. It really helps solidify your understanding.
Let's also give an example sentence using an idiom and a new vocabulary word. How about, I need to get my ducks in a row to avoid clutter and streamline my tasks.
That's a great example. And here's one with a grammar focus. I have a few tasks to complete, but not many.
Fantastic. Practicing these structures will make them feel more natural over time.
Absolutely. Remember, the key to mastering a language is consistent practice and not being afraid to make mistakes.
And with these tips and vocabulary, you're well on your way. Now, let's keep the momentum going with some real-life examples and practice.
Great idea, Philip. Let's put these words and idioms into action. I'll start with an example. Philip, can you use get your ducks in a row in a sentence?
Sure. Before the big meeting, I need to get my ducks in a row to ensure everything runs smoothly.
Perfect. That means making sure everything is organized and prepared. Now, let's try using clutter in a sentence.
All right. After a long week, my desk was full of clutter, so I spent Saturday cleaning and organizing.
Excellent use of the word. Now, let's practice the idiom better late than never. How would you use that, Philip?
I finally submitted my project, and even though it was close to the deadline, better late than never.
Great job. Now, let's try a grammar exercise. Use both few and a few in sentences.
Okay, here goes. I have few options for lunch today, but I do have a few snacks in my bag.
That's spot on. Few indicates a small number, almost none, while a few means some but not many. Let's do one more with much and many.
Sure. I don't have much time to study, but I do have many chapters to read.
Perfect example. Practicing these distinctions helps improve fluency and comprehension.
Now, let's encourage our listeners to try. Everyone watching, take a moment to create your own sentences using today's vocabulary and idioms. Write them down or say them out loud.
And remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll become. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, they're part of the learning process.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions or need further explanations, feel free to rewatch this episode. Practice makes perfect.
We hope these real-life examples help you incorporate new words and idioms into your everyday language. Keep practicing and soon it'll become second nature.
Great job, everyone! Now, let's wrap things up with some final thoughts and tips for English learners.
Absolutely. And before we go, let's share some fun facts and trivia about the English language. These little tidbits can make learning even more interesting.
I love fun facts. Did you know that the letter E is the most commonly used letter in the English alphabet? It appears in about 11% of all English words.
That's fascinating. Here's another one. The shortest complete sentence in English is I am. It's simple yet grammatically correct.
Speaking of short sentences, the word set has the highest number of definitions in the English language. It can be used as a noun, verb, or adjective, and has over 400 different meanings.
Wow, that's incredible. And did you know that the longest word in the English dictionary is pneumon-ultramicroscopic silicovolcaniconiosis? It's a type of lung disease caused by inhaling fine silica dust. Quite a mouthful, right?
Definitely. Here's a fun idiom for everyone: kick the bucket. It's a colloquial way to say someone has died. But remember, it's quite informal and best used in casual settings.
Good one, Philip. And for a fun grammar fact, in English, the order of adjectives is not random. There's a specific sequence they follow: opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. So you'd say a lovely little old rectangular green French silver whittling knife, not in any other order.
That's a great tip, Sarah. It's something native speakers do naturally, but it can be tricky for learners. Here's another trivia: English is the official language of the sky. No matter where you are in the world, all pilots and air traffic controllers speak English to communicate.
That's such a cool fact. And did you know that Shakespeare is credited with inventing over 1,700 words that we still use today, like bedazzled, swagger, and lackluster?
Shakespeare really did have a huge impact on the English language. Lastly, here's an idiom: break the ice. It means to start a conversation in a social setting, helping people to feel more comfortable.
We hope you enjoyed these fun facts and trivia. Little details like these can make learning English even more engaging.
Absolutely. Keep exploring and discovering new things about the language. It makes the journey much more enjoyable.
And with that, let's wrap up today's episode. We hope you found our tips helpful and learned something new about the English language.
Before we go, let's quickly recap what we've covered today. We discussed some common daily challenges and shared life hacks to overcome them, all while sprinkling in useful English vocabulary, grammar tips, and idioms.
We also had fun exploring some interesting facts and trivia about the English language. Remember, learning can be fun and engaging, especially when you dive into the quirky aspects of the language.
Absolutely. And don't forget to practice the new words and phrases we've talked about. Use them in your daily conversations and writing. The more you use them, the more natural they will become.
And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step towards becoming better. Keep practicing, stay curious, and most importantly, have fun with your learning journey.
We love hearing from you, so if you have any questions, comments, or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, let us know in the comments section below.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are also learning English. Your support means a lot to us.
Thanks for joining us today. Keep practicing, stay positive, and we'll see you in the next episode of English with Philip and Sara. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. See you next time on Hey English.
See you next time.